Well, I'm back. Today I'm taking 3 different midis and I'm mixing them into one. I've downloaded 3 midis of a song called Shine by Collective Soul. Unfortunately, they don't work. So first I'll let you listen to a little bit of this. Unfortunately, there's no drums in this particular one. So I found 2 others, or actually I think there's more than that. I think there's 4 altogether. I just have to remember where they are. Yeah, one of them's a solo. I might use it too, but here's a second one. Well, that one has drums, but they didn't have the melody isolated. And here's a third one. This is the solo. That's what they're calling solo anyway. So technically I would call that the lead solo, lead guitar solo, or lead break. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use that one or not yet. I'd like to put that in there because it sounds good and clean, but it depends on how everything else fits together. Here's the one I'm basing everything off of. I'm doing it with this one because it's the longest. If you look down here, 5 minutes and 5 seconds. The first one was, I think, well, I don't remember what it was. But here's the last one. No, I'm sorry, that's one that I've already started working on. Let me see if I can fix this window. We're not seeing the entire titles. And for some reason, there's what I'm looking for. See, I've already started working on one. But then I thought, well, wait a minute, this would be a good opportunity to make a tutorial. So I stopped, and I'm going to start all over. So anyway, now I'm only showing you this in Maestro so that you can see what's going on, what I'm doing. Now I'll go ahead and bring them up in Anvil individually. I started off with this one here because it was the longest one. And we'll give Anvil a moment to load. Also, the other reason I'm using Anvil is because there was a lot of extra tracks in here already. I don't have to create extras, which actually might be a good tutorial for you too, showing you how to create the extras. All you do is go over here to track, click on create instrument track, and then you'll be able to assign the instrument to the track that you want. That's pretty easy. Now, there's tracks that I do want to get rid of, and I'm going to rename these tracks too. So, and I'm going to mute this because we don't need to hear all these notes making noise. But first, I delete these 2 because they're basically in my way, and there's still plenty of other tracks. At least it looks like there. And if there isn't, I can always make more. First thing I want to do after that is assign names. This is going to be drums. I may put a number behind it later, because there's another set of drums. And this is going to be the main guitar. Trying to come up with a clever name, maybe rhythm, because that's pretty much what it is. Now there's other parts here that didn't show up in Maestro. I haven't quite figured out why they don't, but I'm going to give them names as well because they're actually part of this MIDI. So I'm going to give them names like Guitar 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, now this is where things start getting interesting. You want to make sure you're at the beginning of the track and you're in composer mode so that you can see everything in here. It wouldn't hurt to go through here and make sure that all these other tracks are in fact empty, which I did do earlier, but now I'm doing the tutorial. Now, you have to open the next one in a different window. And this one is the one that I was going to add to the one that we're working on here. Now, first thing you want to do is to make sure that they all have the same tempo, which I have already done, and it's a simple matter of just clicking on this, change the entire song's tempo to be constant to start with, give it a number, which in this case is 75. I'm not going to change it because it's already done, and then click OK. I'm going to cancel this because I don't want to change anything. We'll go back to the beginning, and we're going to take this first track here. I'm not going to name anything on this one because they're getting moved over anyway. Go to Edit, select all, go back to Edit, copy, minimize this. You're going to bring it up again later, so don't close it out. Get back on this one, make sure you're at the beginning, go to Edit, Paste Mix. Now this is also a good time to go ahead and start assigning volumes and balance so that you'll be able to hear it the correct way. But the first thing you want to do is give it an instrument. I'm going to give it the same instrument it had in the other track. And I'm going to set its balance over a little ways. And I'm going to take the main rhythm, which is the overdrive guitar, and balance it off a little bit the other direction. We don't have to give it specific numbers, at least not yet. They can always be changed later. Now, I haven't really heard these other tracks yet, so I'm not sure what they do. But it might make for interesting sounds if we do something like this. Who knows what it's going to sound like? I won't know until I hear it. I don't think the volumes are high enough, personally, especially the drums. So I'm going to move that up a little bit. And all of these should probably be at the same levels, or close to them. And it's really hard sometimes to get them exact. I want to hear what this sounds like up here. So I just go up there, a little bit ahead of it, and see what it sounds like. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. These extra tracks are where they bent, and because of the way I did the balancing, it like panned it over to one side and the other. which is kind of cool, but you're not going to hear it that way in Lord of the Rings. So it doesn't matter what we do to that. So far, we've added the one track to it, and you could hear that the distorted guitar is kind of over on one side a little bit off from center, while the clean electric guitar is way over to the left. Okay, now we're going to have to add another track, but first I want to name this one. And I think I'm going to give it a name like so that you don't confuse it with the overdriven guitars. I'm not going to name it rhythm, even though that's really what it is. I'll probably name it like electric guitar. Shorten it. Now we go back to the other MIDI. Drop to the next line down. Make sure we're still at the beginning. Edit. Why isn't copy available? It was a little bit ago. Oh, maybe it's because it's still... No. Huh. That's interesting. I've never had this happen before. Oh. I'm being stupid. That's what's wrong. Okay. There's no copy because nothing's selected. So select all for this track. Edit. Copy. Bring the other MIDI up that you're pasting everything into. Edit. Paste mix. Now sometimes it pastes the last one that was pasted. So you have to undo it and go through, well, I'm not sure how much you have to do, but I just do it all over again. I didn't pay attention to what this track was named. Oh, that's the fretless bass. So I'm going to name it bass. So this is the bass track. Okay. And we can listen to it again for a little bit. I forgot something. It needs an instrument. Otherwise, it's not going to sound like a bass. See, it's already starting to sound fuller. And that other one only has 3 tracks altogether. The third one being the melody. And I'm going to pause for just a second here. Sorry about that. Probably be better if I just muted my mic. So this is the melody. Make sure you're back at the beginning. Edit. Select all. That's what I forgot last time. Copy. As mentioned before, there's a lot of that. Edit, select all, copy, paste. We're going to want to hit edit, paste, mix. There was on one I think I had you going with paste, insert. Here's the difference. Mix actually puts it in the same timeline as the existing. Insert adds additional time. We don't want to add additional time to this particular song, so it's paste, mix, and once again it put it in the same timeline as everything else. Personally, I like synth voice better than this other stuff. But sometimes it's better to have what they had. So I'll listen to it and see what this sounds like. I think what they had was actually louder. So I'll go with what they had. That's it right there. I can hear it better. Okay, so that's that MIDI completely incorporated into this one, so we don't need this one anymore. It's not going to ask me to save it, so I can just close it. Now I need to see if I want to put any others into it. So I'll see what this MIDI gives me. Now this one's only about 2 minutes, little less than 2 minutes. So it may be that what I've got in that one is enough. I don't need to put this one in it. So I'm going to close this one for now, and I'm going to look at what we've got here. Now, because I've done this a little bit earlier, not on the video, I know that right about in here things start getting kind of messed up a little bit. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see this part right here? It needs to be put up here to match these. How do you do that? Well, that's where things really get interesting. This is kind of a lead break. Okay? I'll let you listen to some of this so that you can hear what's going on. Unfortunately, the vocals came in before the lead break was over with. That's not good. So, starting probably right there, I'm going to have to, down in this line, add empty space. But I'm going to have to do it to this one, and this one, and this one, because these were all three from the same MIDI. And I forgot to rename this one. Let me put something in there. Melody's good. So, starting right, see, this is the hard part. Where do I start? I think there to, sorry about that, starting about there. For some reason, I was wanting to do it on this one last time. It doesn't look like that's working out. Actually, this is where I was last time. This was working pretty good. But you've got to find the notes. I think it's right here that I want to be. This is kind of a guessing game. Now, since this is the track that has nothing going on in it, you probably want to copy from there because you're not wanting to add any notes. Now, I'm not sure how far I have to go to make this right. It's probably better to go too far so that you can cut what you want to cut out eventually than it is to not go far enough. But I don't know, because this is, I've done this before, but it's kind of a first for me. Now, I don't have enough room here to go as far as I wanted to, so I'm just going to copy this much. And now we have to go back to that spot that we were at before, which is on this rhythm track at this spot right here. I'm going to go down to melody first. This time, since we're wanting to add time to it, we'll paste insert. Now, I can't tell yet until I get these two up here, at least this one, how much too far we went. I think I have gone too far with it, but not sure just how much too far. Actually, you know, maybe I should have used this one first. I'm going to undo this. There's a note drop. I don't want a note drop. Okay. No harm, no foul. I think I'd rather... Uh-oh. I lost the whole track. So redo that. I hope it's right. I think so. And we need to change things. I'm not sure where. I need to listen to this part. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but I like the sound of that. So yeah, I'm going to go with my original decision here, which was to get up here. I think it was right there. Yeah, at that spot. I had a technical issue, so this is to be continued on the next video. Sorry for any inconvenience.